Another story certainly worth your attention as we usher in the new week is the threats of a strike today by several funeral parlors who are crying foul over the tender regulations as they currently stand. Now, the nature of the concerns, if you like, is that some funeral parlors that are majority black-owned and that perhaps are some of the smaller players in the industry feel crowded out by the regulations and some of the big players insofar as the funeral parlors are concerned. And so today they are taking to the streets in some respects and are essentially calling on the president or government to finally change these regulations. Part of also what they're disgruntled about is that they feel that they're not being seen or acknowledged by the president insofar as their COVID-19 interventions are concerned. So here on the AM Report, we'll certainly be honing in on this story within the second and third hour. We'll get you their perspective as well as give you an idea of what government has to say. Linda Misi and Karinda Mahan watching that story. We'll also take you to Mpumalanga, specifically in Standerton, where we're expecting yet another protest to take over those streets. We understand part of the concerns here have to do with some of the electricity supply. They essentially having been without power, the residents that is, for quite some time. ESCOM, however, is pushing back, saying that the reason for the blackouts is actually non-payment. But what compounds this issue is the fact that some municipal workers are also on strike because of a wage dispute. There's no overstating the kind of ramifications this has on things like service delivery and just the general standard of living that many people in Standerton have to contend with. That's why we're sending Willie Masilela to cover this story for you. We'll certainly bring you their sentiments throughout the course of the day. Sipa Kema will be catching up with Gauteng Cooperative Governance MEC, Lebogang Maile. He's set to give an update on government's response to land grabs taking place in this province particularly. It's under the banner of a rapid land response strategy, and he actually punted this a few weeks ago in response to some of the mushrooming of land grabs we've been able to see in the province. At that time, he also made mention of 1,500 patrollers that are going to be dispatched throughout the province to monitor some vacant land and make sure, of course, that it's not taken over by people who are, quote-unquote, being opportunistic. Part of what we're also willing to hear today is issues to do with the backlog for some of the housing, issues to do with fraud and corruption, as well as staff underperformance. So certainly an important briefing to watch out for. Of course, our Sipa Kema will bring that to us as soon as it begins. And then, of course, another big story that's worth your attention beyond our borders have to do with prominent journalist Hopewell Chingongo, who's back in court today. He's facing charges of inciting violence, had initially been denied bail twice, I think, and his case is set to continue on today. There are several issues we want to delve into insofar as Zimbabwe and South Africa relations are concerned. And